So welcome to tonight's leadership call here, high performance leader training. I'm really super excited about what's going on with vCard Global. We came off of a super October month, and now we're going into the last quarter of the year. Really what you do in October, November, and December, this is where you're going to be meeting a lot of different people out there that you normally don't meet. We're talking about Thanksgiving's coming up, Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's. A lot of parties are going to be having. You're going to connect with friends you haven't seen for a while. A lot of festivities are out there, and it'll just take your business to the next level. I know a lot of people in this time of year, they says, well, a lot of people aren't. No, this is the time to really go out and start sharing it. And you'll see who's sharing your card out there. It's really neat. What's really starting to happen, if you haven't noticed, on your card in your back office, there are follow me features now up on RSVPs, on the coupon, and your calendar, and you can actually see when somebody shares your card. So let's just say you gave me your card, and I took your card and I shared it with Dennis or Tina or Angelica. It'll tell you who I shared your card to. I mean, how cool is that? Now you're going to be able to track, and that's something that never was really done in the business world until just recently now. That if you had a paper business card and you went out and shared it with somebody, guess what? You didn't know who you shared that card. No, you don't know who's sharing your card and who's building your business, but now we're going to track a lot of statistic information out there on your card, which is really neat. A lot of new features are coming over this month. It's going to be an incredible month. We're testing the corporate program right now. I was talking to a couple people tonight, setting up a couple companies that we're going to test it with, small companies, like between 20 and 100 people right now. We're going to give them a special deal on that, where they're going to be able to lock in at the 10,000 card price with us, and I'm going to grandfather them in for life because they're part of our testing learning program to get started on the release of the corporate program. But the corporate program is in its final testing right now. We're going through some things, and this month that corporate program will be completely done, and by the end of this month we'll have a brand new fully functional website that I'm really super excited, and I know you're going to be excited to see. So really excited what's happening here. But what I want to really talk to you today about is a lot of people are going out and they're sharing their card and they go, wow, look at this. You can put a video on your card, or you can do data capture on your card, and look at how this is working on the card. I really, that's good. I know you're excited, but let me tell you something. In every sales position out there, whether it's clothing, whether it's makeup, whether it's you're buying a car, it's really not the features that the people are buying. Maybe they're paying for the features, but why are they paying for those features? Because it's the benefits they get. Well, because I have a full cushion leather interior in my car. Why? Because what does that do for you? It gives you comfort. I had a Lexus GS car. Now I have a Lexus LS car. And I'll tell you what, with the features on the car, the benefits that it is giving me, when I drive down the road now, I feel like I'm on a cloud. I mean, it's an entirely different ride. The comfort level is off the charts. It's the same thing when you get a haircut, or women are putting on makeup, or you're getting dressed. Why? Because it makes you feel good. It's the customer experience and the feel-good experience that people buy. They buy the benefits of the card, and that's what it's That's what it's all about. So what we have here is I wanted to go over a few things. What are the benefits of vCard Global? Well, one of the benefits is that we can cut people's business card expenses basically to zero on paper cards. That's what it comes down to. One of our Australian contacts is dealing with a bank, and they're out there and they spend about $7 million a year Aussie, but in US dollars, it's about 5 million on paper cards that they're spending for their bank. Well, when they come over and convert with us, they're going to spend about $1.25 million. So we're going to save them $3.75 million in printing costs just by coming over. So you see, what they're purchasing is the benefit of having that on there. So one of the benefits is I always go in and I talk to people, how would it be if I could cut your business card expenses by 75% and you don't have to have paper products? Well, another benefit is brochures and marketing and flyers and everything. I know that some businesses will still want to do it, so I usually go in and I says, right now, what are you spending for customer acquisition? And customer acquisition, they're handing out brochures and sales aids to help them get that. Well, now if they put that on their card, I can go in and tell them, listen, of what value would it have if I could save you 70 to 80% of your paper product cost in your business today by just joining up with vCard Global? That would be a huge benefit to any company where we're able to save them money. Also, we save them time. Like, yeah, we have a calendar and say, oh, you can book calendars and everything. Well, the benefit of doing that, where they're able to reduce their clientele, their personnel of hiring a person to sit there and answer a phone and book appointments. So instead of paying somebody 40 hours a week, you're going to still get people in to call in and do it the old way. But maybe it's only going to cost you 10 hours a week. So what it's doing is it's saving them time and it's saving them money. But this is really neat. How many businesses are out there that are running today? And what happens when they run out of a flyer or they run out of a business card? They're basically out of business. How many times have you gone to an event where somebody went up and you asked somebody for a card, or you said, oh, I want a brochure on the product? Well, let me ask you this. When I'm talking to people, what value would it have that you would never, ever run out of business cards or brochures or flyers ever again? That is a huge benefit to a business. That not only are they're covering their paper expense, where they're cutting that 70 to 80%, but just that other feature that they would never run out of paper products or anything like that ever again. That is huge. What about this benefit? No reprinting when you run out. Or what about if you make a change and say, oh, I forgot to put this on the flyer. When we reprint, we have to reprint everything. Or how many times have you didn't proofread something and you spent hundreds or thousands of dollars on printing, and then you had to go in and you had to make a change and you had to throw out all the paper products you just bought and you had to reprint them? What value would that have? Because all you would have to do is go in and is edit the card, edit the page, whatever you needed to change, and boom, it changes automatically. What value would that bring to a business? That's a huge value that you would be able to save on printing when to remake or changes. But this is really huge. You know, I'm really big on green and charities and saving the planet and all this. What about if they never get thrown out? Because how many people really walk around with a business card with them? Or 88% of all business cards get thrown out in less than a week. Also, how many times have you gone into a store and people want to, they're going to hand you a brochure when you're walking in the Neiman Marcus or Dick's Sporting Goods or something, or somebody wants to give you a brochure. What do you do with it, really? I mean, do you save those things? No, you take it home, read it, and then where does it end up? It ends up in the garbage, if it even ends up in the garbage, or you put it in the recycle bin. So look at what you're doing. It never gets thrown out. You're saving the planet. You're going to reduce the carbon footprint out there, and the landfills won't be as huge because you're not throwing out paper products. That is huge. Get behind a cause. That would be really big, because people are looking today for reasons why they want to shop at a special store. And being green is an extra benefit for a business today to advertise, we're green. And you know what? People see that because people respect that they're paying it forward and they're stepping up because they care about the planet they live on. So that's really key. What about you're always up to date with your clients and contacts? I mean, how cool is that? I mean, again, on a business card, you're not up to date with them. You can't send them specials. You can't notify them if you're having a sale. And the other thing is what happens if you move or change and they have your business card? They don't know where you went to. There is no communication. Well, what's neat is you can change something on your back office and it immediately changes on everyone that has your card. That is so really a good benefit of what it is. Now, what features are that? It's every feature, right? It could be the videos, it could be this. But when you think back of what I'm talking about on what are the benefits, you don't go in and says, oh, you can put on a video or something. Because remember, every time you're talking to somebody, the less you say and the more benefits that you sell is they know that you're caring about them. They don't care about how great your card is or it's got all these bells and whistles. They're looking for advantages on how it's going to help them, how it's going to save them time and money, and they're green. So always up to date is really key out there on the card. How about this? This is really huge. How would they never, ever, ever, ever have to pay for a website again? But let's face it, websites, what do they cost? $2,000 to $10,000? Listen, I spent $16,000 to $25,000 for websites in the past. And you never have to pay for a URL again. You never have to pay for hosting again or the design. Or when you have to go in and you want to edit something on your website, I mean, it's a real hassle and it's very expensive, especially if you don't know how to do it, which I would probably say 99% of the people do not know how to do it. What value does that have with a business that they could go in and just in a few minutes that you can change something on that and it automatically changes on their card? I mean, that's a huge value right there. You don't have to be worrying about all the hours putting it in the websites. I'm sure everyone here on this presentation this evening, I'm sure you've keyed in the Cherie's Build the vCard workshops on Wednesday nights and on Saturdays at noon Eastern Standard Time. That she literally builds a card in 30 to 45 minutes, even including questions. And she builds them with 3 or 4 pages on them. And you can do that. What type of value would that have? Can you imagine if you were creating a website, how many days and how many hours and thousands of dollars it would take to do what Cherie does in literally less than an hour or a half hour on the card? I mean, that's incredible. This is really key too. You know, we're tracking analytics now. And like I said, we're tracking when people pass out the cards. And this is really huge. How cool would it be if you know who is looking at your card or who passed it out? Let's go over who's passing out the card. So I told you about that just a little bit earlier, that when I pass out your card to somebody, it's going to say Alan passed out Tina's card to Susan, and Susan Sorrentino has the card. That is so cool. Or and then Susan handed that card out to Diana Dulce. And how neat would that be? And then she handed it out to Angelica. See, it would track where your card is going. Isn't that what we all really want to do when you go to networking events? When you go to BNI and all these meetup groups and everything, what are you looking to do? Meet people to hand out your card, and you want them to refer your business. Well, how would you like to know when they actually refer your business? Well, now the card does that. When somebody refers your card to somebody else, it notifies you and lets you know the new person that just took and received your card. That is really, really neat. But this is another thing that we're developing right now and tracking. How would you like to know on the card what they're looking at? Let's just say you put a video on that card. Would you like to know how long somebody watched that video? You know, they say, oh, I watched the video. And let's say the video was 2 minutes long, and you looked in your back office and it showed them they were on that video for 15 seconds. You know they lied to you. I mean, okay, they got busted. You caught them. But this is what the card is going to do. It's going to tell you, oh, I went to the second page. I spent this much time on it. I watched this video, or I filled out this data capture page, or I went to this page, or I shared the card there. We're going to track all that information for you. And what's really neat, and now we're talking just regular people that you're passing the card out, you're sharing the benefits. How good, this is what, when we come out with release the corporate program this month, totally after the testing, we're going to, these are key points to a business owner when you're talking to them, and it's everybody that you're talking to, is how that could add value. Because you know what they're looking for is, how can I get more customer acquisition and track what I have on the card and retain my customers? That's what it's all about to them. It's just like, I ate at JB's with our developers few weeks ago. It was the first week of October, and we were over there, and they know what we're doing. They've been watching us, and I told them on the corporate program we're going to set them up and everything, and they're all up for it, and they love what we're doing. But I talked to one of the managers, Scott, over there, and I said to him, I said, Scott, do you know all the people that come in and out of your restaurant? And he says, no. I go, how would you like to know everyone that came in and out of your restaurant? And he goes, well, how could that? He goes, of course I would like to know everybody. He says, I could market to him then. I says, yeah, how cool is this? I says, and you'll know who is promoting your business within your restaurant. This is really key, because now you know who is promoting you in your restaurant. I said, so what you're going to do is you're going to get everybody a business card in your restaurant. He has 130 employees. And what they're going to do is they're going to get the short code. So what they're going to, as they're serving the food and everything, they're going to offer them a special to get the card and to get the app on their phone. So what they're going to tell them is when they follow their specials, take down jbs.vcard info, or you type in jbs to 80800, and boom, down on the card, down on their phone comes their card. And then when JB's puts a follow me feature, they're able to follow it. How cool would that be? He says, you got to be kidding me. I says, it even gets better. I says, everybody that has a card, we follow who is sharing it, and we capture their phone number. So now you can get SMS, and we're working on SMS codes. I'm sort of like telling you some stuff that we're working on. Very inexpensive for the marketplace. Now they're able to market to those people on a daily, weekly, or monthly level, and they'll have every customer's phone number that walks in and out of their business, and they can market to them. What type of value would that have for them? Let me tell you something. It is totally off the charts what that does. So that's very, very, very key of what's happening. So that adds tremendous value to the card. So when you're out there, talking to people of what they want to hear, it's not, oh, look at the card. It's not this. Oh, look at the card. Look at the video. You can put videos up there. You can put this up there. It doesn't mean anything to them until you revert it back to how is it going to benefit, because they might not see what you're talking about. So what you have to be, as a person that represents vCard, it would be good to do a little bit of homework before you go into a business or you begin talking. Find out what the business is about, find out how they do business, and what they would like to see the card do for them. And then tell them how the features will give them those benefits. And then what you do is you tell them, well, you don't have to do flyers or paper brochures again. So you show them, look, you can develop multiple pages. And here you can talk about your business and put up product brochures. And then you show them the feature on the phone that supports the benefit. And they'll go, wow, that's really cool. Or if you're a realtor and you're doing listings and you can do a slideshow, here's a walkthrough of a piece of property that you can show them. It's now you're not saying, oh, look, you can do slideshow presentations, and look, you can do a video, and look, oh, you can get pre-approved for the loan. And they're going, oh, okay, but what benefit would that have? So if somebody needed to get pre-approved, so of what value would it have, Mr. Realtor, if you passed out the card and your purchaser was already pre-qualified for a certain dollar amount to a home? What value would that have to you? It's extraordinary, because maybe they're only qualified to buy a $300,000 home. Why would you be showing them $500,000 or $750,000 homes then? So you see, it's the benefit on the card that supports the feature, and then you show them how the feature will work for them to do the benefit. And it's all about customer experience. And what I really get excited about is this, is that people want to become part of movements. People love charities. People love kids. People like veterans. We worked with first responders this week. We met them and they're really super excited, and a lot of kids organizations where we can help those people. But we actually can be very big on saving the planet by going green. And I'll tell you what, it's a big benefit that a business could advertise on their front window is we support green. We're planting trees around the world, or whatever, where a business is hooked up and they became vCardized, right? They become part of a movement that makes a difference out there. So just one other thing that I just want to touch, and maybe some of you have heard my last presentation that I did, but I sort of like, we're in the process of changing up. We're doing a corporate PowerPoint now, and we worked on it this weekend. We're going to finish that up this week. We'll be completely done with that. Cherie and I and Tina's been working with us on that also. And, you know, on certain things that we're going to change up the presentation and be more product orientated there. And when I get the slides, I like to use phrases like this when I'm talking about the card, because this is what we really are. Yeah, we're the world's smartest business card, but we're really an intelligent business card. You know, we're a smart card. And it's the ultimate marketing tool. You know, when people hear phrases like, wow, it's an intelligent business card, it's the ultimate marketing tool, it's your personal portal, it's a mobile-friendly website. Remember when we talk about that 3 billion people access the internet? Well, these are other features that you want to be sharing. See, what we're doing is we're going back to benefits here with the phraseology that I'm coming up with here. When you're talking to a business owner and I tell them that 3 billion people access the internet and 80% of them access it on their cell phone, what am I telling them? If you're not mobile friendly, guess what, buddy? You're not in business, because the average business, the business world went back 14.2% since 1980. What is it? 95 to now, where it reduced it by 14.2%. So being mobile friendly website, what is it? 97% of the websites out there aren't mobile friendly today, and you are. That is a huge benefit to the consumer. Because why? Let me give you some facts. Right now, people that access their phone when they're in a store or they're buying a car, 40% of the people go online and they're checking Carfax and everything on their phone while they're looking at the car, especially on used cars. So they're checking to see if they got the right price and got the best deal on the car that they're purchasing. 40% of the population do that right now. So if you're not mobile friendly, they are not looking at you. Also, what do you think it is in the millennial area? It's 66%. Okay, now they came out with a new generation. I think it's the Z generation now. What do you think it is with them? I'll tell you what. Now, before they even buy, the 18-year-olds and 17 and 16-year-olds and stuff, what are they doing? Why, they're in the store, they're sending messages out to their friends, and their friends are giving them feedback before they even purchase anything. That is huge. So guess what? If you're not mobile friendly, Mr. Realtor, you're going to be left behind. You're just going to add to that 14.2%. So, and being a mobile friendly website with a digital contact manager app, all rolled into one. So with that, I hope this has given you a few ideas and a little bit of information how it'll help you when you're out explaining what the benefits of our product are, that we are out to help the world. We're here to enhance you to become a better person, become a better business, become more efficient, more productive, and add more cash to the bottom line. We are your friend. So with that, I want to wish you all a very prosperous and successful, happy week. And we'll see you next week on the call.